Greetings, Amitofo. My name is Min Liu. I am with our Foguangshan Buddhist Center here in St. Louis in Bridgeton. I want to say again, thank you for being here, but also to say a quick welcome to those who are joining us on Zoom, Facebook. I think those are the two online platforms. We are here for our annual Vesak Day Celebration, sponsored by the Buddhist Council of Greater St. Louis. For those of you who do not know, this is an organization that was established in the 1990s and is a collaborative group of many Buddhist organizations, temples, and centers in our region. And as your host, I wanted to say how wonderful it is to have this event celebration here in person. It's the first time we've been able to have it in person since the start of the pandemic. I see so many faces that I've not met before, and that makes me even more grateful for having such a wonderful Dharma community right here in St. Louis. So please allow me just one more minute. I'd like to just walk you through today's program, but also with a few reminders. For those of you who are joining on Zoom, just a reminder to put yourself on mute, and that goes to our phones in the shrine as well. Our event is sponsored by the Greater Council. The decision was that any donations that we receive would go to the St. Louis Area Food Bank to support those who are struggling in the pandemic. So we would be grateful for donations. To start, we will have the opening chanting of the Heart Sutra led by Venerable Jue Huang of Foguangshan and Reverend Daikaku Rame of the Confluence Zen Center. After that, Venerable Jue Huang will give us a Dharma talk on the liberation of the Buddha's mother. At around 10 o'clock, the presiding venerables will perform the bathing the Buddha ceremony. Now, I know that's a beloved Vesak Day ceremony for all of us, so we would like to invite all of you to join in that ceremony at the end of the service. Following the ceremony, we will have another Dharma talk provided by Venerable Master Jiru of Maba. And to round out today's event, we will have Dr. Kongsak of the Thai Buddhist Center leading our dedication of merit. Without further ado, thank you for being here with us today.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Thanks for being here. To begin today's event, we are going to chant the Heart Sutra, probably the best known Mahayana Sutra. This is a short sutra that we will chant this morning in 3 versions, in Chinese, in Japanese, and in English. I think you all have a handout. Heart, in the case of the Heart Sutra, means that it is the kernel or the essence of a much longer sutra called the Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra, which has 600 volumes. So this is the condensation of this sutra. And the central theme of the sutra is emptiness, a teaching that points to the way things are for us right now, a condition where things both exist and yet do not exist. Or, as it says in the Heart Sutra, form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. First, Venerable Jue Huang will chant the sutra in the traditional Chinese manner. Then I'll do it the Japanese way. Both of these versions use exactly the same Chinese characters, which you can see in the printed handout. And yet there are distinct differences in the way they're chanted and the way they sound. Finally, together we will chant the Heart Sutra in English. You're welcome to chant along with us. Please chant with whichever version you're familiar with.
Oh.
心静观自在菩萨行深般若。波罗蜜多时，照见五蕴皆空，度一切苦厄。舍利子，色不异空不异色，色即是空，空即是色，受想行识亦复如是。舍利是诸法空相，不生不灭，不垢不净，不增不减，是故空中无受想行识，无眼耳鼻舌身意，无色声香味触法，无眼界内。无一世界，无明亦无明尽，乃至无老死亦无老死尽，无苦集灭。苦之亦无得，亦无所得，故菩提萨埵依般若波罗蜜多。心无快，无快故，有空不远离颠倒梦想，究竟涅槃，三世诸佛依钵。波罗蜜多故，得耨多罗三藐三菩提，故知般若波罗蜜多是大神咒。他名咒是无上咒，是无等等咒，能除一切苦，真实不。故说般若波罗蜜多咒，即说咒曰：揭谛揭谛，波罗揭波罗僧揭谛，菩提萨婆诃。
玛哈嘎呀哈拉米的心哟，康吉在波萨子교짐함야哈拉米。地上健康海空と一切空薬者利子真義空空無意真義真義即世空空即世真義中創業真義薬無尿世者利子世上無道無常無滅無常無道無限世国空中無真義無中創業真義無限利彼世真理無色上光味俗法無限界内視無意識界無無明薬無無明尽内視無老死薬無老死心無空中滅道無知薬無得意無衝動公菩薩薩大安阿拉弥陀高心無下下無下下高無無意天道無道無行内安三世成仏へ阿弥阿拉弥陀高徳阿耨多羅三藐三菩提高知阿弥阿拉弥陀世代人種世代名種世無常種世無道道種の上一切空真実不可公説阿弥阿拉弥陀種族説種末やてやてあらやてアラソンやてボジソワガハンヤシンギョ A heart of great perfect wisdom sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva when deeply practicing prajna paramita clearly saw that all five aggregates are empty and thus released all suffering. Shariputra form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself form sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked by emptiness. They neither arise nor cease, are neither defiled nor pure,
neither
increase nor decrease, therefore given emptiness, there is no form, no sensation, no
perception,
no formation, no consciousness, no eye, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no
mind, no
sight, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm
of my
consciousness. There is neither ignorance nor extinction of
ignorance,
neither old age and death, nor extinction of old age and death, no suffering, no
cause, no
cessation, no path, no knowledge, and no attainment, with nothing to
attain
a bodhisattva realize on prajna paramita. Mind is without hindrance, without hindrance. There is no fear for all inverted views. One realizes nirvana. All Buddhas, past, present, and future, rely on prajna paramita and attain unsurpassed, complete, perfect enlightenment. Therefore, know Paramita as the great miraculous mantra, the great bright mantra, the supreme
mantra,
the incomparable mantra which removes all suffering and is true, not false. Therefore, we proclaim the Prajna Paramita mantra, the mantra. Gate, gate, para, gate, parasam, gate, bodhisvaha. May this merit extend universally to all, so that we, together with all beings, realize the Buddha way. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna Paramita.
Thank you to Venerable and Reverend for leading us the Heart Sutra chanting in 3 languages. I was told that many Buddhist practitioners, in their hearts, the Heart Sutra holds a special place. And so next we will have a Dharma talk by Venerable Jue Huang of Foguangshan, St. Louis.
Good morning, everyone. Those in the temple and online. Okay, so we are it is really not easy. As you can see that we have a technical problem. Okay, so we know that since pandemic, we've been, putting everything online, and we are not able to see each other, even our dearest Buddhist Council members. We are meeting monthly in online. So even though we see each other online, but it is still having a sparkle that that face-to-face interaction may be. So I'm very happy that I can see you here in the temple, and also who are online viewing this live streaming. Right, so today I'm going to talk about is the Mahaprajapati, which is known the Buddha's mother. Okay, so let me put up my PowerPoint. Okay, so as we know that Mahaprajapati is the Buddha's mother and the first female monastic of the Buddha of the Sangha. Okay, then we can take a look at what happened to her. Okay, after after she became, or after Buddha has gone forth for his spiritual for his spiritual practice. Okay. So we have said that there are 4 assemblies. Right? Bhiksu, bhikshuni, or bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, it is the monastics, and upasaka, upasika, right? Which is a layman and lay women. Right? This is what composed of the Sangha. Right? So we call it 4 assemblies. And we know that male monastics was originated from the 5 disciples right after Buddha's enlightenment. And how about the female monastics? So I think that the first female monastic on the record is Mahaprajapati and her 500 followers. Okay. So we know that in Chinese temple format, there is the 18 arhat statues will be posted even on a specific shrine or along the garden site of a temple, of a Chinese temple. I think that Japanese and Korean Buddhist traditions also share this tradition. Right? So there are 18 arhats, right, there, but from the very traditional ones that we know that it is all male figures. Right? There's a lack of female figures. So as you can see on the PowerPoint, this is the standard and traditional 18 arhat format. It's all male. You can see female there, but we had a revision in our, the Buddha Museum. So when my master, Venerable Master Xing Yun, is building the Buddha Museum in Taiwan, we have decided that we will put 3 female figures in these 18 arhat. Right? So it is not it doesn't become 21, but it's still 18. Right? So, but we have these 3 female monastics, right, that represent the first or one of the 4 assemblies, which is bhikshuni. Okay, yes. So one of them is well known as Mahaprajapati bhikshuni, and another 2 are Utpalavarna, right? That is well known as the very, very well known on her supernatural power. Right? Another one is Bhadra Kapilani. She is the wife of Mahakashapa. Right? So they both gone through the spiritual practice. Right? So let us focus on Mahaprajapati Gautami. And I would like to, I'm very honored to be here to introduce her to everyone, that she is really, I can call it her phenomenal, okay? Because as she is the first bhikshuni and also the foster mom of the Buddha, okay? So this is the photo that I found, or a statue, a very small statue. Well, I saw it in Maba, right? And I took a picture of it because it is, she is Mahaprajapati. And we, in Maba, there even have a note on the wall, introducing this well-known bhikshuni figure. Right? So if you are, if anyone happen to go back to Maba, then I encourage you to go there. I think it is in Blue Lotus. I'm not sure if it is already moved, but it is in, I think it is in the newly built the structures there. Okay, that is where I found her. Okay, so let us take a look at the Buddha's family tree. Actually, there are a bigger ones, but I just shrink it into like just Buddha himself. Right? A mother and father. Right? Buddha's father, Suddhodana. Mahaprajapati is her stepmother, and Queen Maya is his mother. Okay, and Nanda, he also have a brother, kind of like a, I don't know how to call that, but it is like brother, right? Okay, so Nanda and a sister Nanda. Okay, and Ananda actually is the cousin to the Buddha. Okay, so it means that it's his uncle's son. The Ananda is his Buddha's uncle's son. Okay. So that is the relationship of that. Okay, then you know the Queen Maya, the story of the Buddha. Okay, Queen Maya dreamt about the white elephant. Okay, and then she gave birth of the Buddha, and then of course she passed away at 7 days after she gave birth to the Buddha. And then we know that she was born to something called somewhere called Trayastrimsa heaven. Okay, so we have a story that the Buddha went up to the heaven and have a teachings to his previous mother. Okay, then of course there is a ascending of the Buddha. This is the photo is from the stupa, very Sanchi in India. So it's called Sanchi Stupa. It is very famous, and the stupa was well ornamented, and it talks about the life of the Buddha. So this is one of the sculpture, and it talks about the ascending of the Buddha from the heaven after she taught his teachings to her mom, or his mom, sorry. Right. So how about the Buddha's stepmother, Mahaprajapati Gautami? Okay, so as we know that she is the first Bhikshuni. So how is her spiritual we call it quests? Okay, so we can see the quest of her spiritual practice. Actually, at that time, at the Buddha's time, it is the female, the statue of the female, or the social status of the female was not that good, okay, as the modern world. Okay. So female or women was always seen as the ownership of a male. Right? So it is kind of like an object. Right? So he can donate his wife. Okay. Even he can do anything to his wife. Okay. And so after King Suddhodana, so after Mahaprajapati's husband died, okay, the king passed away, and Mahaprajapati started to think about, what is my second life of maybe there are a second life, right? Okay, so she started to think that maybe I can go forward, so become a Buddhist monastic. Right? So he asked the Buddha if she can renounce herself, and sadly, there are a lot of consideration from the Buddha, especially the social and the environment issues. So actually, Mahaprajapati's request to go forward is being turned down several times. Right? Very sad. Right? It's very sad to hear. Right? But she never gave up. That is a good thing. Okay. We call it perseverance, right? Okay. So what happened is that when the Buddha went to Vaishali, it is a city, right, to preach, right? And Mahaprajapati left from her hometown is Kapilavatthu, and she walked barefooted to Vaishali to meet Buddha and to kind of like having her last request. Right? So how long was this take? It's like 324 kilometer. It's kind of like 200 miles. So she walked barefooted for 200 miles for her wish to become a Buddhist monastic. Okay. So as we know that we are in St. Louis right now, okay, so we can just kind of like, okay, so where can we reach from, like 200 miles from St. Louis? You can reach Champaign. Okay, you can walk barefooted to Champaign. You can reach the silver dollar city that is, I'm not sure, but I think you know where it is, Benson, right? Okay. And also Springfield, Missouri. Okay, so just imagine that. Right? If you would like to go to, like the amusement park for the silver dollar city, or you are going to the, like the University of Champaign, right? Like you walk barefooted. How long will it take for you to reach it? Okay. So Mahaprajapati took the same journey or the journey for her request for her quest. Okay. So barefooted, and eventually he reached the vihara. Okay. Then this is how the scripture said, like, traveling stage by stage, she, Mahaprajapati, arrived at Vaishali and went to the great wood where the Buddha was. Right? Then Mahaprajapati Gautami stood crying outside the gate because she don't dare to go in because it might be, she is afraid to be turned down again. Right? So how was her condition after such long journey? Here is the descriptions on the scriptures. Her feet swollen, of course, right? You took 200 miles barefooted, right? Her limbs covered with dust. Yeah, I think that she doesn't have enough rest, right? Miserable and sad with tearful face, right? So she has coped with all the difficulties because that they have to go through maybe woods because we don't have, the roads might be, the condition of the road might be very bad, right? And also there will be some bad people like trying to, kind of like hunt for women, right? So that is really a terrible journey. So it is very, very, it's kind of like a miracle for her to, just arrive safe, right? Not just only her arrived, but she also brought 500 Sakya women. They have shaved their head already from at the beginning of the trip, right, and wore the robe. So you can imagine 500 people just walking along the road, wearing robe, shaved head. Okay, then when you drive along, then there will be 500 people, kind of like walking along the road, and then you will be kind of like, what is that? Okay, who are they? Right? Okay, so fortunately, she met Ananda at that time when she was weeping at the gate. Okay, so Ananda was, she saw her aunt, right? And then it's quite a surprise that her aunt became a monastic. So shaved head and wear the robe. And of course, he knows what she is here for. So he started to ask the permission from the Buddha. And of course, the Buddha said yes. Right? Then there comes the first Bhikshuni Sangha. Okay, so we can say that this is the long journey of Mahaprajapati being a monastic. Right? So what happened? So maybe we know that the story of her just from here. Then how about her afterward, after her becoming a monastic, right? Okay. So we can find some trace of her in the Theravada scriptures, which call the Therigata. Therigata, this book, well, actually, it's already translated in English. So it's we're very fortunate to go to to the English version to look what the female monastic was in Buddha's time. Okay. These female monastics were all the arhat, were all enlightened. And the Tarigata is the gata, okay, or the poem, we call it poem, that written by or created by the enlightened female monastics. Right? There is another one called Theravada. This is the poem made by the enlightened male monastics. So there are two, literatures that we can compare of. Right? So that is really, really, I think I really strongly recommend this literature for you to read. Okay, so there are many of them who got enlightened. So there is one poem. It's called "A Mother's Blessing." Right? I think that we have it in the handout. Okay. Right. So this is from the Therigata. This is the Gata from Mahaprajapati. Okay, this is the full version, so I didn't have the extracted ones. Right. So she had this. I'm not sure if she composed it at once. Maybe it is not. It was just kind of like putting at the same or at the different times, but here it is. Okay. So Buddha, hero, praise to be to you, you foremost among all beings, you who have released me from pain, and so many other beings too. So actually, this is a literature expressions when the first gata or the first paragraph, we will be praising the Buddha. Okay, so our respectful teachers. Right? And the second stanzas, all sufferings has been understood. The source of craving was withered. Cessation has been touched by me on the noble able path. I think by reading these, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot to press the button for the online those who are watching on Zoom. Okay, so I think this is the Four Noble Truths as you can see it. Okay, so all suffering being understood, source of craving, cessation of suffering, and also the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, so I think that by practicing and realizing the Four Noble Truths, one can get liberated, as simple as it is. Okay, so we can see how powerful the noble truth is. Right, for noble truth is okay. The third paragraph: I've been mother and son before, and father, brother, grandmother too. Not understanding what was real, I flaw on without finding peace. Okay, so this is her reflection or looking back at his past lives. I think she obtained the supernatural power, and then this is what she found herself. Right? But now I've seen the blessed one. This is my last compounded form. The unflowing of birth has expired. There's no more becoming now. Okay, so her affirmation of her enlightenment. Okay. See the gathering of followers putting forth effort, self-controlled, and always with strong, oh, I'm sorry, okay. Always the unflowing, no, always with strong resolution. Okay. Always with strong resolution, this is how to honor the Buddhas. Okay. So actually, this stanza tells a story. Okay, and this story was recorded in both Mahayana and Theravada texts. Okay, so one is Theripadana, the one that we are going to read later. Okay, then Buddha there got a sneeze, like, achoo, right? Okay, right. Then we know there was, you have to say something after someone sneezes, right? Right. And in the American culture, we will say, bless you, right? Okay, yeah. Right. So, of course, there will be a reaction from Mahaprajapati. I think this is the culture also. Say so, the Mahaprajapati will say, they just say, "Oh, I hope that you, the Buddha, long live, right? So and be in the world forever." Okay, so something like that. Okay, and the Buddha was kind of like, if you say bless you, right? Okay, someone will say when you sneeze, someone will say bless you and you say thank you, right? And how about the Buddha responded? When if there are something that okay. So this here is the responding of the Buddha. Buddha said, "This is not how you respect the Buddha." Right. So out of respect, we will say bless you, right? Or it's kind of like a blessing. Right? And the Buddha said, "Oh, this is not the proper way to to respect or paying respect to Buddha." And Mahaprajapati was kind of like, okay, so what should I do in for me to say that respecting or the worshiping of the Buddha? And here is the Buddha said, what Buddha said. See the gathering of followers. So did you see that all the monks and the lay person? Yes, I see. Like, putting forth effort. They are trying to practice, okay, self-controlled. So that is something that we are, the strength of ourselves. Right? So we call it patience, or sometimes we call it equanimities. Right? So that is self-controlled. Always with strong resolution, we are going forward, right? We are aiming the goals for maybe enlightenment, right? Right. This is how to honor the Buddhas. So actually, when we are talking about how to respect or honor the Buddha, we have to take a look at this. This is the teachings of the Buddha to the Mahaprajapati. And he said that, right, just look around your Buddhist fellows. When a person and your Buddhist fellows are practicing hard, right, and gaining this self-control and a strong will, then this is how we honor the Buddha. Okay? So we have to be, practicing hard. So this is how we honor the Buddha. Okay? And Mahaprajapati said, "Okay, I will do so. I will never seeing, people by, differentiate people by his color or social status or even economical status, educational backgrounds, but I will respect everyone as Buddha." Right? So this is the last one. Surely for the good of so many, did Maya give birth to Gautama? So she has a recollection of her sister. Okay, Mahaprajapati and Maya, Queen Maya, actually is a biological sister. Okay, so who bursts under the mass of pain of those stricken by sickness and death? Okay, this is the Buddha, how Buddha can save the people. Okay, so here is a photo or a modern artwork. Right, it was in India, Raja Savani. Okay, I think she or he, I'm not sure. Okay, the painting was um, was describing the passing of Queen Maya. Okay. See that the one who sits on the bed, at the bed, I think that is the Mahaprajapati. Okay. And the one who lies on the bed is Queen Maya being so sick. Okay. And they are holding hands as they are saying goodbye to each other. And Queen Maya just passed his son, Prince Siddhartha, to Mahaprajapati. Okay. So this is the responsibility of Mahaprajapati to raise the Buddha or the Prince Siddhartha to become an ideal king, right? Okay, so or for the future king. So this is something her enlightenment. So how about her farewell? So when we talk about the Vesak Day, actually we are commemorating 3 significant dates of the Buddha: the birth of the Buddha, the enlightenment of the Buddha. So we have talked about the enlightenment of the mother, the Buddha's mother. And the last one is the death of the Buddha. Right? So this is her farewell. So how about Mahaprajapati's farewell? So I think this is also very, very touching. I find it very, very touching. So and when I look through both Mahayana and Theravada texts, and I found it really, it's really, really touching. Okay. I'm not sure, but I will share this to you. So the extracted text on the handout for those who are in person at the right side, right column. Okay. This is when Mahaprajapati bid her farewell to several people. Okay. This was a very long text. If you are about to go back to the original text, right, this was very long, right? But you can still find something, some strength or something out from the text. Okay, so when was that? When was the farewell of Mahaprajapati? It was said in the text that is after the announcement of the Buddha, of his parinirvana, he's dead. Right? So we know that the Buddha just kind of like saying that, after 3 months, I will die, right? Okay, so you know the story, right? Then there was kind of like a shock for everyone, including, or not maybe shock, but it is kind of like, yes, we expected these, okay, and we know that, right? So it's kind of like preparing. You got 3 months to prepare. Okay, so it's just kind of like when your doctor say, "Oh, you still have 3 months to live." Okay, what you will do? All right. Okay. So this is how the Mahaprajapati. So Mahaprajapati thought to herself that, okay, I will be. This is maybe. I am sad. I cannot bear the pain of seeing Buddha's passing. So I will pass first before him. Okay, so as Sariputra and Mu Jianlian. Okay, so they also pass. I think Sariputra. Sorry, Sariputra. Right? He passed before. He passed away before the Buddha. Okay, so before she decided, she went to the Buddha, asking for his permission for her parinirvana. Parinirvana is the death of oneself. Right? So this is how she bid her farewell to the Buddha. Well gone one, I am your mother, and you are my father, hero, Lord, who gives the good teachings joy. Oh, Gautama, I'm born from you. So it is it's very, very beautiful because it has, kind of like a comparison. I am your mother when you were young. After I renounced myself, became your disciple, you became my father, nurturing my wisdom, okay, and guiding me through toward the shore of enlightenment. Okay, so this is really, really beautiful. So the following stanza 2, I think this is also, kind of like a comparison to the first stanza. Your body made of flesh and bones was reared up by me, well gone one. So as we saw the art piece, right? The Queen Maya and the Mahabhajapati holding hands, and she is rearing, kind of like uh, brought the prince up. And here is another one. My flawless body, made of truth, was reared up by you, Gautama. Right? So it is also a very, very beautiful, right? So comparing the young Buddha and right now, and right now. Okay. So this is kind of like a conversation of an enlightened mother and son, how they talk. Okay. Formerly, my eyes and tears weren't satisfied by the vision of you nor hearing your speech. But now, having obtained perfection, my mind is satisfied by the taste of the teachings. So as being a mother or a father, if you are uh, the parents, right, or maybe the grandparents, when you see your son or your granddaughter, your grandchildren, right, you will be very, very happy to meet with them, right? Just like when as we were all hit by COVID, right? When after the long separation, or we cannot see each other, right? Okay, so for like almost one year, right? See that union, see the bondage, right? Feel that warmth of the family bondage, right? So I was not satisfying seeing each other, feeling the warmth of the bondage. But now, what happened after the enlightenment? Having obtained perfection, my mind is satisfied by the taste of the teachings. So not just the presence of the Buddha, but it is nurtured. She was nurtured by the teaching of the Buddha. Right. So as you can see, it's so small. Okay. All right. But this is the painting, right, of Yuan Dynasty in Chinese. It is like 12th, 17th, or 13th century. Okay. In 13th century, this painting was an illustration of the Mahaprajapati nursing the infant Buddha. Then you will see two babies there. Right? So one is Nanda, it's Mahaprajapati's own son, and one is Prince Siddhartha. Okay, so it's her sister's son. Okay, so actually, when Mahaprajapati was nursing, she had two babies. Okay, so just imagine you're taking care of like two babies, like, whoa. Okay, so who's first, right? Okay, so you will be, kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, okay, right. So how about so this is the last one, her farewell to Buddha. Fortunate am I, great hero, intent on worshiping your feet. Okay, so again, it's a kind of like a honoring, worshiping. Okay, the existential desert crossed. Okay, so I have a long pause on pronouncing desert, right? Because I always mix up with dessert, right? Okay, so the existing desert crust. Okay, so that means that the desert is our life without Dharma joy. It's just like very, very dry. Okay. When rain comes, it's just substantial and short. Okay. But after teachings, I shine due to the good teaching. Shine, right? Oh, wow. Okay. So I was kind of like surprised of reading using the shine. Like, wow, it's really like brightened up. Okay. There was no light before hearing the Dharma. And then eventually hearing the Dharma, you are shining, right? Then you can sing, "You are my sunshine." Right? Okay, so okay, so after bidding the farewell to the Buddha, there comes Nanda and Rahula at the side of the Buddha, and they were already fully enlightened. Rahula will be, the topic will be Venerable Master Jiru's topic, and we are really looking forward to hearing from him. Okay, so but Ananda, at that time, we know that he is still on training. So he's not enlightened. He's not fully enlightened. So what happened to him? He was weeping. Like, oh no, he was kind of like, I think that he is a very emotional and very warm character. And so that's why he wept. So here is her first or her last word to Ananda, which is in the handout, it's number 5, stanza 5. Gautami said to Ananda, who was lamenting in this way. Okay. Oh, son, keen on serving Buddha, your wisdom's deep as is the sea. So as we know that Ananda is most memorable, right? He can memorize every teachings, right? So it's a keen on serving Buddha. He is the servant longest in the longest service hours or longest service first in time. Okay, among the servants. Okay. So so you really should not mourn. When the time for smiling has come, son, through your assistance to me, I have realized nirvana. She is thanking the Ananda for helping her to convince the Buddha, right? For her to become a Buddhist monastic. Right? Being requested by you, dear, Buddha gave us ordination, gave us, so the female monastics. Therefore, do not be distressed, son. Your effort is now bearing fruit. So as I just like if I am a Mahaprajapati and I get enlightened because of you, right? And I'm thanking you, and don't worry, don't cry, because what you can see me as a fully awakened arhat, you can see the action, what you have done, right? Okay, so I thank for you. Your effort is now bearing fruit. Right, so I'm very touching. Right, so so of course, lay woman, she is the leader who teach the lay woman. Lay woman was also crying, right? Not just weeping but crying and kind of like holding on to Mahaprajapati and they say, no, don't go, don't go. Okay, so and Mahaprajapati said, oh, my wish have had for very long is finally fulfilled today. Right, so it is not on this one already. Right, this is the time for drums of joy. What then with all these tears, children? If you feel compassion for me, and if you all appreciate the great teachings of stabilities, then strong and fervent you should be. Okay, so this is how she teach the lay woman. Right. So when we are reading this text, so the first thing that came up to me or came in my mind is that there are chances to beat my last farewell before death. Who am I approaching for? And what I would like to say to them when they are weeping, when they are crying, grabbing you, no, don't go, how sad. So what should I say? So here's my inspiration when I was reading the text, preparing these, right? Then something happened just right at the middle of my readings. Right? So I heard the yelling of Fempa Rugong, the other female monastics who are working with me. Right? So she said, that, oh, a bag of frozen blueberry was leaking its juice in our refrigerator. Right, so you know that when you have a frozen blueberry, right, and you're going to use it, you put it into not from freezer to the lower compartment, right? Okay, and then to defrost it. Then sadly the plastic bag just got a hole, so all the juices just went out. Right, then you know how terrible it is, right? You have to clean the mess. Okay, so always we all together cleaning the freezer. Okay, then she said she was kind of like frustrated because we just have the refrigerator deep cleaned just 2 days ago. Just okay, before the incident. And when I was reading these, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm still in the Dharma joy and say, oh, that's fine. I will clean it. And this is the full impermanence. Right? So why be sad? No need to be sad. Okay, I will do the cleaning. Right? So I do this, and then without any frustration, and I will just see things what it is. Right? It's a dirty refrigerator, clean it, work done, no mess being left. Perfect, right? Okay. So no, there's no frustration inside, right? or within or blended in any action of this incident. And I see it very, kind of like a very, very relief. Right? It's a relief of the chores, right? Okay. So when hearing the chores, like, oh, all right, okay. So I hope that from learning from the story of Mahaprajapati, we can do the chores, or when we are seeing your pet or your children, your grandchildren making a mess, then kind of a reflection of Mahaprajapati. Okay, no mess. Now clean it, no mess, no dust in our mind. Okay, so after her cremation, the Buddha, as long as Ananda, Nanda, Rahula was carrying her body to the cremation. Right? Then after she became, there's a sarira, right? Sarira. Then the Buddha was before she was being put into the stupa. Actually, the Buddha holds her sarira, and said this, right? She had practiced diligently and attained arhathood, entered emptiness that is as pure as the sky. What an indescribable great attainment she had accomplished. Right? So this is from the Mahayana script, right, of the Buddha praising the virtue of Mahaprajapati. And lastly, I would like to just
having this one. It is at the bottom of the box, also in your handouts, that the Buddha actually said, therefore, when she was holding her mother's ashes, this is the teachings that the Buddha gave it to us. Okay, gave us. Therefore, be lamps unto yourselves, grazing the field of mindfulness, with wisdom's 7 parts attained. 7 parts is the 7 factor of the Bodhi. You all shall end your suffering. So just as Mahaprajapati did for herself. Okay. So I think this is the teaching and how we learn from the Mahaprajapati. And I think this is the same journey that we, or all the arhats or all the Buddhists wanted to be, right? And we can see her examples and to reflect onto ourselves, what will our life to be? Okay? What will our spiritual practice to be? What we want our spiritual practice to be. Okay, so I thank you for joining me together, and thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Venerable Jue Huang. As a female practitioner of Buddhism, I have, since my joining this Buddhist center, I've met so many wonderful fellow practitioners, many wonderful Dharma sisters. I always find them very inspiring and supportive. And today, I'm very grateful to have heard of the story of this wonderful, we could call her Dharma sister, who was very much a pioneer in her time. Moving on, we now have the honor of a bathing the Buddha ceremony. Will be performed by the presiding venerables of today's event. Just a reminder, at the end of the ceremony, we will invite all the attendees to come and participate in the ceremony as well, just not right now yet. Now, may I have the honor of having our venerables join us in the bathing the Buddha ceremony. Thank you, Venerables. Earlier, we learned the story of the foster mother of the Buddha. And next, we have in our next Dharma talk, Venerable Master Jiru will share with us collection of Venerable Rahula Buddha's son, Venerable Master Jiru of Maba. Please, Amitofo.
Good morning, all face and online disciples. Today is Vesak Day. We're going to share the Buddha's enlightened Balinivana and even his renunciate all together in one day. The correction of Rahula bring me very deep of the meaning into the Dhamma practice. When I do a little bit research from the Chinese translation, Agama, or the Pali translation, the connected discourses, or the Samyutta Nikaya. From these two translation, old texts, of the name of Venerable Rahula and the Buddha, what is that relationship or the Dhamma friendship together with a teacher to a student? The first novice, the first very young age disciple come to the Dhamma or come to the assembly of the Sangha. How the teacher can educate him and bring the skill of training, or what we call it, the practice to the path and the fruition in the future can expect. So educate someone and help them to learn the skill of training become very important, or become the bone of the monastic life. From that aspect, I look into all these resources. I put it into three. One is the identities of samana. The second one is the content, what I found in the Agama and the Nikaya, both in the Chinese translation and the Pali translation into English, what I can found, I put it into the content very bravely. Have some sharing you can see on the screen. And the third is the conclusion, or the last part. I want to say something what I learned and I aware of in my own understanding of this very important teaching, the teacher to the student, or even the father to his son. If we want to mention, Rahula was Kadama's real son before Gautama turned his life into awaken. So father and son have very special connection from the body side. And the teacher to the student have very special or unique connection from the spiritual side. So this is my perspective. Want to talk a little bit about the correction of Venerable Lahola in sharing it for you, even though to open up my mind concerning about what the Dhamma come to the society, what the Dhamma come to human mind can really narrow his focus into very practical and very direct and not out of the path and bring your life into the Dhamma. So first thing is identities of samana. Samana is some kind of occupation in Indian culture, not serve to the God, but look for emancipation. This is called samana. So if there is the freedom can be experienced by human mind and body, that is only me can fulfill that training. That is the only me can realize it, because this is my body. This is my mind. If I am a man, a great man, I need to work for my own benefit and liberation. With this definition, we call samana. So samana is very unique occupation or professional training, observing and experiencing for his own emancipation, part by part liberate. So the Buddha talking about characteristics of samana using an advice to Lahola. When Lahola come and disciplinedly, he is not too virtual. Sometimes make some joke like a children. So the Buddha one time told him that not connected your mind into lying. So lying become very important. Sometimes people lying is not because of he intend to lie. It's because of he is not processing, advance his understanding. So he keep his labeling in the mind. That perception is not make sense. He still carry that perception or that conscious or that feeling. Again, tell people what he think. I'm talking about lying like that. So purifying or liberating means you overcome something that you misunderstanding or you deeply penetrate to something that you thought it is true, but today you see that yesterday my understanding, today I break it. So you go deeper than that. Lying for me, it means like that. So my grandpa told me something, my father told me something, my mother told me something, my teacher told me something. It might not. They see the truth. They think they know the truth. They think they learn the skill. But after many time, your own investigation, your own observation, you see they are not come to the point. They tell lie. The first, they lie themselves. The second, they lie other. So for me, using insight to observe the world, and the world is a lot of liar in the samsara because of greed, because of anger, because of ignorance. You cannot tell the truth. That three poison stuck in the mind, you don't see the truth. Not means you intend to lie. It means that you not transcend enough to overcome lying. So that is what I put here. The Buddha said that if you still involve that, you'll be kicked out from samana. This really touched to my life. Even though you wear the uniform, you perform yourself like you are samana, but you already been kicked out if you don't enlighten to the truth. You don't remembering enough to the truth. Or you been bestowed upside down this jar. So lie is a belief. So here I mentioned 3 points from the sutra that I quote from next. Second part I want to talk a little bit is the content part. So the content part, I show a little bit in the southern or the Samyutta Nikaya 10 Sutra, I bring it into one. Content means directly talk about Rahula's education and his skillful training. As a young novice come to the assembly, you need to come to the assembly 20 years old, then you can free yourself individual. Before 20 years old, in Buddhism, it still need to be remembering the teaching, learning the skill, put it into contemplation, and put it into practice, experiencing the practice fruit before you can go alone, help others. So in today too, 20 years old or 18 years old, after the university, then you can go alone as a free man. Before that, you depend on your day, mom, or any who take care of you, anyone who take care of you, like that. You're not mature enough to go alone. So the first teaching in here is impermanent, not self, not mind, not in each other. This is a very important teaching in Buddhism. You need to remember it, seal it in your mind to see five aggregate, five sensual desire, six sense or six sense bases: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. All these sense installed into remembering. All that need to be checked using impermanent, not self, not mind, not in each other. That is the truth from the reality. Reality is the five senses, this five desires that always come from the mind. We need to check it from time to time, like that, in order that we have a new experience. That experience is the habitual pattern that we narrow ourselves in there. This is called the Dhamma. Do we turn it into our habitual pattern? I think not easy, isn't it? Because in the daily life, we are not using that skill. I tell you one story very real. Yesterday, I come back from Chicago. On the way, we stopped in the gas station. One of the 17 years old teenager follow me. I give him in Chicago 100 bill cash so he can spend in Chinatown for his own food. So he spent $18 and still have 82 in hand. We stop in the station. So we'll run in, fill the gasoline, and we other run into the restroom. So he been handled by a man with the wife and with the children. Just say, I lost everything, my credit card, everything I lost. So he checked his hand, have $82. So he just asked for $80. And this young man, teenager, never come to the world. He only come to the computer and interested in chess, not interested contact to this real world. So once he contact, he opened his hand with $82. That gentleman took his $80 and only left $2 for him to buy a Coke. This is a real world. If a gentleman can take the money from the teenager, you are not a man. A man is stand in virtue, discipline, responsibility, and give. Generosity, we call give, and not take. This is called man. So a samana teaching means a man, even though hunger in the stomach, he still got his senses store. Never let his mind come out from the senses store, make suffer to the world. This is called man. Other beings who are in the samsara, they work different way. They are not working for emancipation. They are not working for mind free. So a man come to the Dhamma means you connected the Dhamma. Let the Dhamma skillfully release your mind or purify the greedy, the anger, the ignore in the mindset. So with presence of mindfulness, you are armor. If not presence of mindfulness, you easy to be kissed by someone because of bodily feeling is very basic here. The first contemplation of the phenomenon of the body contact, you need mindfulness. Even though we are not fully awakened, the awakening is based on mindful. So do we all concerned about mindful or not mindful in the daily life? Buddhism teaching is only based on 4 foundations of mindfulness as the training. So 7 sets of the teaching in Buddhism, 5 aggregate, 6 sense basis, 4 new treatment, the cessation or the causation, the 4 noble truths, the feeling, and the noble path. This is called 7 sets of the teaching. The Buddha, after enlightened, always again to different situations, talk about this, talk about that, talk about this in his whole life. So these 7 sets of the teaching, the Buddha's preaching it or sharing it to the world in his whole life. So it recorded in Agama, translate into Chinese. They recorded into Pali right now, translated into English. And even though just now we are still reading the Panya Paramita Sutra, all the teaching of the 7 sets, just in this more than 200 Chinese words and more than how many words in the Japanese side, I think it's very simplified form. They simplify the Agama and the Nikaya into Heart Sutra in these 7 sets of the teaching. I don't have a new teaching for you all, but just carry on very conservative. I like what I say what to you. If I don't like that, I don't determine that is the way, that is the skill I hold on, and it can transform, take my life, come into the goal. I don't see that is the condition or that is something that I want to share with you as a samana. So a samana is very serious life. serious about the true or not the true. Next, the content of second part. Here is the second part. Contemplating the formations of form, sound, etc. This is called six senses. Impermanent, the same way. Desire of form, sound, or the six sense base, impermanent. Four element, impermanent. Aggregate, impermanent. Here is something that contemplate means after the Lahula got the message, so you need to aloneness, contemplate. Here is something that I want to share with you, aloneness or loneliness. For the practice of life, aloneness. For the desire life, loneliness. So he always needs something in contact so that he will feel, I have something, supporting. He can know what is aloneness. So aloneness, another word is called renunciate. Means another word is called use mindfulness, protecting your senses door. Let your mind go outside and processing there. You need to keep it in this very body. Feel this very body. Yeah. And feel from the body inside. So if from the body inside, what can you see? What can you feel? Elements, 4 elements. Did we feel 4 elements? Not easy to feel 4 elements in the realistic way. But when you feel hard, then you may already attach to the feeling. Very hard, I need to turn on the air condition, like that. You see, you don't feel, that is hard. Let me cool down my mind. This is called awaken. So if you awaken, you will let your mind adjusting and release from there. This is called mindfulness. If not mindfulness, that you will not looking for what I can do in the mind side, then you are looking what I can change of the exterior side to comfort the mind. If you look for comfort the mind, you are not contemplating the right Dhamma. So right Dhamma means contemplating all. They have more the Buddha teach Lahula. You need to contemplate all this bodily from the bone structure, come to organ, come to blood, come to air. Is it belong to you, belong to I, belong to mine, or you can master it? No, this element of the body, you cannot master at all. It keeps changing. The biological body, it keeps pointing to the direction of destruction. The exterior support too. You see global warming, this and that, in the big issue that human facing to. What's going on there? Stress. The stress is what we call the suffering. Yeah. This body is supported by suffering. Support by destruction from the exterior way. And this bio body is, his condition is processing into destruction. And one thing that is very, very subtle in the impermanent, if you observe the impermanent of things, he's not abide, he's keep changing. So if fast, very, very fast, we call that change, not Obama's change. Dharma's change. Three days ago, my responsibility in Chicago, I saw these two men put up the window. One, I call him Grandpa. One, I call him Daddy. Daddy means 60 years old. Grandpa already 70 and more. So two of them need to carry this 300 pounds glass put into the window frame. I'm not confident he can do it. Even though he already take the job. So I stand with them and give my hand to them until midnight, 12:20. They finish the job. Then I say, okay, you caulk that window frame and then you can go. I need to go. I need to go to the parking lot and take my van and go because of the street already silent, no many people anymore. So I need to go myself. Then I get my car, transport, and go into the highway, just 10 minutes away from where I live. So I living in Castle, and before the accident, almost 300 meters, I saw the chemical truck that is 3 lane in South 55 from Chicago. 3 lane, I drive myself in the middle lane. So I need to come to the right-hand side so I can exit. I saw this chemical truck in front, so that let me follow up. So I don't go above him, I follow up. And then once I decide I follow up, I heard the sound, step the brake. Then, look, I hold my back to the mindful to the car. I'm mindful driving already very long ago. So I back to the mindful to the car. I just hold the car. And then he stepped the brake, hitting to the back of the chemical truck. So he, one big turn, my friend have a car and my car. He just across 2 cars and then hit to the other wall. So he turned it back. So turn it back, so his car is opening like that. So over, what we call that? Flip over 3 times. So from this side, in front of the car, flip 3 times back, and then hit to the chemical truck, hit to the back 2 tires. So the tire still going front. So the chemical truck, like that. And then pull his car, so his head turned back and hit back to that wall and stop. All the crashing pieces is there. My front car, he already, I don't know what he feel, but he already pressed the emergency light. He already pressed down the emergency light and go slow. And I myself too, and go slow. And the chemical truck come to the side and stop. I saw they do something, but I saw him come that way, just in front of me. I don't see my car shaking. It means not hit to me, but the whole car just cross here and go there. Go there, clearly what I see is going on. But in my front here, I didn't see anything. I just see a shadow come to. It means very close to here. 3 seconds. What I can count is 3 seconds. This thing done. This condition done. I don't know how speed this car is. But for me to know is 3 seconds. Thing done. You don't have the mind to fear. You don't have the mind to worry. And you don't have the talkative mind want to tell something. No. Not enough time. This is called change. New experience of my life is called change. Only awareness or mindfulness can liberate the mind in that moment. Other than that, I don't think any experience can transform your mental state. I don't think we have. This is my new experience of impermanent suffering, destruction, change. The last one is called change. Change means like the bomb. Right now, you can read the news from Ukraine. The bomb go, it just not happen to suffer. It happened to change. Means in that moment, bam, thing already done, perfectly done. Not left anything for the mind and body. Next. I want to say the next. This is the part that I quote from the teaching. Mindfulness training is how to save your mind, how to protect this mind from the feeling side. So mind, if the mind is not ready in awaken, then it's a feeling, not in the contact, but in the feeling. So in the feeling, it means this feeling mind will go up and down in many kinds of feeling. Not in the balance side or equanimity or concentrate or insight, not in that moment. So only you have mindfulness training and maturing this mindfulness, then it becomes penetrated power to penetrate to that contact. Release the mind, suffer. This is from this couple days life experience and make me honest, respect, and trust the Dhamma, and trust what the Buddhas mentioned. So the Buddha mentioned the Lahula. Do you teach? Okay. Next. The Buddha mentioned the Lahula. Do you teach the fire grade to people? Did you teach the 6 senses based to other? So and so. Then the Lahula just follow and tell people what it means. Until he already right memory to it. Perfectly memory to it. Then the Buddha said, oh, this is time, Lahula. You go to secluded yourself. Go for aloneness. Try to sit there, not move the body and observe it. So not move the body means no more contact to the bodily sensation, but contact to the inner mind. So you contact the inner mind. Check what you teach to to people. Is it anything can apply to attachment? Is there anything that can apply to your dream, your planning? This is a check the reality. Yeah, so Buddhism, someone say that, oh, it is a pessimistic. No, realistic. You need to check it from time to time. If you still move your body, your rough mind is in the senses processing, in the senses contact. You cannot check very fine stability. If you check it without moving the body, just check. Stop the mind and check. Then you are a good scientist. You check, only you can learn is vibration. Vibration, mind contact to vibration, mind will join into vibration. That is all about in the life. What the Buddha said, vibration and serenity of mind is different. So Nibbana is the cessation of mental moving. We need to experience that in order back to the world. You are not disturbed by the contact. This is what lastly the Buddha mentioned to Rahula. You go alone, you go contemplate in what the teaching you remember probably. And then if you found anything, what I'm saying to you is different. I think we are all there thinking about, this Buddhism. Sometimes I think it that way, sometimes I give up. I think it back to my normal life value. That is us. We are Buddhists. That is us. The Rahula is called, he is silently alone. Means he not showing all what his personality in the scripture. We cannot find him. He is showing just what I mentioned. This is all about his life. No superpower, no super teaching, but very practical, lining up how he applied this teaching to his life. Conclusion, next. This is what I learned, gradually or sudden. In the northern or in the Chinese translation, we are go gradually because the writing there, you need to teach someone. Why teach someone? Because you need to perfectly remember it and then keep the teaching until mature your thinking perception. Then you secluded yourself, contemplate, meditate on it. Then you will maturing your experience to it. Suddenly you overcome the mental obstacle. This is called enlighten and bring your life connected to the truth. That is called gradual. Sudden Northern Buddhism and Southern Buddhism is different. Northern Buddhism, we call the assembly of Buddhism. Southern Buddhism, we call them elders' teaching. Means they are maturing minds that, I go directly to renunciate. I directly go to samana. I directly myself into practice. My professional is practice. Practice is my career. So they go directly to samatha, vipassana, like that. We call that sadhana. They keep up everything. Not interested to everything. They're just interested of nibbana, emptiness, non-self, signless, endless. They interest about that experience. Thank you. This is what I want to share with you in the Vesak Day. I hope this Vesak Day for every one of you, it makes sense because this is not I want to press you, make you joyful. This is what I right away determined there is no way out for my mind free. I commit myself. Never before so tight my thought or mindset to this Dhamma. Fortunately of my life, I saw him. Before I meet the Dhamma, my father, my grandpa, my friend, society, army camp, where I go to, never have someone sharing this information to me. Never. They're sharing me is the different value. So I see this is a unit to my life. I'm so fortunate. I hope you are too. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you to Venerable Jiru of Maba. Isn't it marvelous to be able to listen to these thought-provoking, heartfelt Dharma talks in the company of this wonderful group? And just like it was just magical earlier to be able to share the sutra chanting in different languages, it just gives me a wonderful sense of community. I'm deeply grateful for that. So it is with that gratitude that we will now have Dr. Kongsak of the Thai Buddhist Center, who will lead us in this dedication of merit.
So we come to the conclusion. We do a dedication to merit, sharing loving kindness. So set your mind as if your broadcasting station broadcasts your goodness, loving kindness to all beings, including yourself, as a strong foundation to continue to do good deeds and so on. Let's do it together. May I be happy. May I be free from stress and pain. May I be free from animosity. May I be free from compression. May I be free from trouble. May I look after myself with ease. May all living beings be happy. May all living beings be free from animosity. May all living beings be free from oppression. May all living beings be free from trouble. May all living beings look after themselves with ease. May all living beings be free from all stress and suffering. May all living beings not be deprived of the good fortune they have attained. All living beings are the owners of their karma, heir to their karma. All of their karma, live through their karma and live dependently on their karma. Whatever they do for good or for evil, to that will they fall heir. May there be every good blessing. May the Devas protect you by the power of all the Buddhas. May you forever be well. May there be every good blessing. May the Devas protect you by the power of the Dharma. May you forever be well. May there be every good blessing. May the Devas protect you by the power of the Sangha. May you forever be well. Thank you.
Joy and gratitude indeed. Thank you, Dr. Kansak. To all our friends who are joining us online, I believe just wanted to say thank you again so much for being able to spend this Vesak Day celebration virtually with us. We hope that someday you'll be able to visit us here in Bridgeton in Fo Guangshan Buddhist Center. Now, for all of our attendees for this in-person gathering, I believe now is time for all of us to come and joyfully participate in the Bathing the Buddha ceremony. And this will conclude today's Vesak ceremony. Amitofo.